Well, that mini rebellion by Darth Vader eventually had to come to an end, and issue number 12 showed us exactly why. In fact, it started from issue number 11, where Darth Vader ventured to Exegol, Palpatine's supposed planet, and there he saw the full might and the true power of the dark side. Palpatine went as far as to torture a mountain kyber crystal just in order to serve the dark side and his own needs. The comic showed us that Palpatine was actually doing something that Vader did not even conceive of. That's why I think in the end Vader just conceded to Darth Sidious, to his master, because the mind of Sidious is something that Vader just cannot contend with. These two individuals, these two Sith, think of power very, very differently. You see, Vader, just as Anakin was, they think of sheer might and power, overcoming you with their strength, whereas Sidious has a totally different view of power and the manipulation of it. He does not see a lightsaber or a force power as unlimited power. As we know by now, he is truly in tune with not only the Force, but the future as well. That's how Palpatine actually manipulated an entire galaxy and a Jedi Order altogether, and now as the Emperor of the Galaxy, he is doing the same thing with his apprentice too. If you read through issue number 11 again, you see that Palpatine is not even flinching at Darth Vader's threats. He knows that Vader has no clue, no idea what has he gotten himself into, and he knows that once Vader sees the actuality, the reality of it, he will fall right back into place, and issue number 12 showed us exactly that. Now, just as Sidious predicted, Vader has turned the attention towards another target, Han Solo, the one who was constantly there to help Luke Skywalker, his son. If Vader was to crush the hope and the dreams of Luke destroying the Empire, then he needs to get Han Solo. In fact, that is how issue number 12 concludes, with Ochi Bestoon joining Darth Vader and talking to Boku from the Hutt Council. In fact, Boku is made out to be kind of the second in command outside of Jabba the Hutt. In the most recent release, Star Wars The War of the Bounty Hunters issue number 1, we saw the entirety of the Hutt Council basically, and Boku and Jabba were the leading voices in it. Issue number 12 ends with Darth Vader presenting himself to Boku the Hutt, while issue number 13, as you can see by the cover, has a totally different view of it. We still don't know what the conversation between Vader and Boku consisted of, but we know that Boku will probably lead him down a different path, a path where Darth Vader will eventually meet up with IG-88. Yes, the assassin droid that we all know and love, even from Legends material. IG-88 was always one of the badass characters in the Star Wars universe. Ever since he made his first appearance in Empire Strikes Back, he and Boba Fett have been basically leading the board in the bounty hunter fandom. Unfortunately for us Star Wars fans, the issue is a couple of weeks away. Issue number 13, in fact, releases on June 23rd. And for those who are lost in this series, the 2020 Darth Vader series takes place after Empire Strikes Back, essentially between 3 ABY and 4 ABY. The art and the issue is just marvelous. Issue number 13 still is intertwined with the War of the Bounty Hunters timeline, so all these comics, the Star Wars comics, the Dr. Aphra comic, Darth Vader comics, will all converge during the same time. The characters will jump from one comic to another. This was done in the 2015 comic series as well, and by the picture itself, you can see that this is a desert flat planet with sand surrounding Darth Vader, something that he hates, protecting himself with his lightsaber, rejecting the blaster bolts of none other than the assassin droid IG-88, who has not one but 2 rifles aiming at Darth Vader. The tagline for this comic is Sound of Metal. You might be forgiven for thinking this is referring to IG-88, which practically it does. But if you think about it, even Darth Vader is more metal than flesh. So the tagline Sound of Metal might be referring to actually both of them instead of just IG-88 exclusively. So let's talk about this interesting cover and comic and what it basically represents. From what I can deduce by the cover, either IG-88 or Darth Vader are in hot pursuit of Han Solo. This means that Darth Vader basically got some information from Boku that IG-88 might know the whereabouts of Han Solo, who from the War of the Bounty Hunters we found out that Kira, in fact, is the one who stole Han Solo's frozen carbonite body from Boba Fett. Kira was the dear old friend of young Han Solo in Solo: A Star Wars Story. She finally made a comeback in these comics, trying to revive the Crimson Dawn as well. Or in fact, it could be the complete opposite. It could be that Darth Vader by now has deduced who has Han Solo, and IG-88 is going after Darth Vader to get some information for himself, since everybody is after Han Solo's body. It has become a huge commodity in the galaxy, and I will cover War of the Bounty Hunters really soon for you to understand why is everybody after Han Solo. There is a clear-ass reason for it, be sure about that. Now we move on to the summary of this comic, Darth Vader issue number 13. The tag for the summary basically reads, Dark Lord versus Dark Droid. Nothing really to decode there. Again, if similar to the sound of metal, this could refer to both Darth Vader and IG-88. Dark Lord referring to Vader, Dark Droid referring to IG-88, but Dark Droid, once again, as Obi-Wan said, Vader is more machine than man. The first bullet point of the summary reads as follows: Darth Vader and Ochiyo Bestoon embark upon a search for the carbonite frozen body of Han Solo. We actually know this by watching issue number 12. As I said, Darth Vader chose Ochiyo Bestoon to accompany him on this adventure. It is weird that we don't see Ochiyo Bestoon in this cover. Perhaps he is either being delayed or injured in a way, since we know that Ochiyo Bestoon will live on past Darth Vader issue number 13. As far as I have gathered in other summaries of Darth Vader issue number 15 as well, he might make it past 15 and into Darth Vader number 16, which is coming October and November. Bullet point number 2 says, get ready for intrigue, betrayal, and action in the heart of Hutt space with the explosive reappearance of everyone's favorite assassin droid, IG-88. So I understand intrigue and action in the heart of Hutt space, but betrayal is the key part in this sentence. Somebody is betraying somebody. Is that Boku betraying Jabba? Because essentially there will be betrayal in the heart of Hutt space, meaning that since this is Hutt space, there could be betrayal between the Hutts. Or will there be betrayal from Ochiyo Bestoon? Will Ochiyo Bestoon betray Darth Vader and leave him alone to be killed by IG-88? That's at least what Ochi hopes to be. So I don't think there will be betrayal by Ochiyo Bestoon, just to be clear, because he has finally understood the powerful and the might of Darth Vader. He will serve Darth Vader from now on, similar to how he has served Darth Sidious, the Emperor. If you watch Ochiyo Bestoon's arc closely, ever since he appeared in the Darth Vader comic, he was very self-assured. He thought that Darth Vader could be beat easily. As time went on, Ochiyo Bestoon has become a wimp, basically, bowing down to both Vader and Palpatine with no question. The betrayal might be from Boku himself, betraying Jabba the Hutt, giving other people information that were to be classified by the Hutts themselves. Of course, Jabba will see this as a betrayal, and it won't be surprising by the ending of War of the Bounty Hunters series that Boku might end up dead, killed by Jabba himself. And the third and final tagline reads, and a shocking cliffhanger brings the shadows to life. I'm not going to even pretend to know what this means. I just know by reading all these comics through all these years, yes, there is nothing shocking about a cliffhanger in a Darth Vader comic. We all know until the last issue, every other issue will end in a cliffhanger. That much we know for sure. And they know we know because they even included this information. They included this information in the summary itself. They're actually telling us beforehand, hey, expect a cliffhanger. What else do you want? It is the Darth Vader comic series, issue number 13, coming to you June 23rd. Guys, subscribe for this comic because by the cover itself, you can deduce this will be something special. And as the summary said it itself, the ending, the last page, should be spectacular as well. A shocking cliffhanger that will bring shadows to life. So here's a question. What do you think these shadows are that will be brought back to life? Talk to me down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.